Hey everybody, this is Strategy Wizard again, and this is Ravager.
Hello.
Today we're going to be doing a review of Marvel Dice Masters, designed by Eric Lang and Mike Elliott. It's a two-player dice building, bag building game. So we bought this. I started off with just getting the Amazing Spider-Man starter set. Starter set gives you enough dice for a partial game. It's not the full tournament game because you only have 2 dice for each one of your characters, and you can have up to 4 per character. So you get some of the dice you would need, and only enough cards for really a good 2-player game with some characters, not the full 8.
You get tons of cards.
Yeah, you get a lot of cards, but not enough to make a real full-blown game.
Oh, so, yeah, it's just because of the expansion?
Huh?
It's just because of the expansion?
That's how we have enough to do this, because we got the now, and that's the thing.
We don't start off
After we got this, I realized this game is pretty darn fun. So let's go ahead and upgrade. So what did we do? We bought the Age of Ultron Marvel starter set, and we bought a gravity feed for that. The gravity feed has 90 little booster packs that have 2 cards and a dice for each. Once you open all that, you have tons of cards. You have enough cards to have more than you need. So we're going to go ahead and go down. We're going to show you how to play, and then we'll let you know what we think. Okay, so here's the setup for Dice Masters. This is like a full tournament-style game. Each player is going to have 8 characters and 2 of their own action cards. Now, basically the way this game works, you'll have 2 people, and you're going to be rolling dice. Each person, Nathan, go ahead and show us your dice bag.
Right.
And the game comes with these little paper dice bags, and you're going to put your basic sidekick dice, 8 total, inside. The sidekick dice give you mostly different types of energy to buy more dice, or there is one side that has a little character that's not very powerful. So, let's just say, Nathan, you go first. So go ahead and roll 4 dice.
Okay.
You pull 4 dice out of your bag and you roll them. In this case, we know it's going to be 4 sidekicks, but later that will change. So, in this case, Nathan, what do you have?
I've got 2 of these, 3 really, and 4.
3, he has 3 of the mask energy and 1 of the lightning energy. So go ahead and see what you're going to buy, Nathan, and now I'll show what's exactly on this die up close. So you have a fist type energy, you've got a shield, you've got a lightning, you've got the mask, you've got the little character, and you have a wild. The wild can be any type of energy. The character, here's the deal. Every time you have a character, in this case it's a sidekick, but whenever you buy characters and they have these numbers, this is how much energy it costs to actually put them into your field zone, which will let them attack and defend. This is their attack and this is their defense. So this guy's weak, as you can tell, but he's free to put up.
And to buy, you can't just buy like any type of energy. This one you can buy, you can have any type. You can have like just anything.
Yeah, for other cards, you'll notice the basic action cards. Let me get over here so we can see better.
It has this thing, this little thing.
Okay, yeah. In this case, Nathan has Loki's scepter, and it tells you have to use the mask in order. You have to have at least 1 mask energy in order to buy this card. It takes 4 total energy. 1 of those at least has to be a mask.
And here's the mask.
That's right. Here, Nathan, go ahead and put that back. And then the basic actions, which we have are 2 apiece down there, has no such symbol. So any kind of energy can be used to buy the basic action cards. Okay, so have you purchased your dice?
Well, first of all, it only costs 2, so I could get this.
Did you re-roll? You must have re-rolled.
I didn't re-roll, actually.
Oh, I thought you had 4 energy, and now you have a character over there.
Oh. I just re-roll again.
Okay, just re-roll. Here's the thing. You do get 1 re-roll. Every time after you roll, you can re-roll once, some or all of your dice if you don't like what you got. Then you're stuck with whatever you get. Yeah. In this case, he has a character, or I should say a sidekick, to put up for attacking and defending.
Unless if someone has a special ability.
Yeah, some special abilities can let you re-roll more.
At least Kane can.
So you have 3 energy. Who would you want to buy?
I could buy.
You can, if he had stuff that was, if he had, let's say, 10 energy he rolled, he could actually buy multiple people at once. But in this case, he can only afford 1, so he gets Drax. So he puts the die to the side in the used pile. Now there is a mat, or you can even print them off, but I haven't done that shows all the different areas. You have the place where you roll, which there's a prep area, which is where some dice will go there, and they will be already ready for you to roll when you pull your other 4 out of your bag.
And you can get knocked out. We can knock each other out.
And that can also knock him into the prep zone.
Like, let's just say if Daddy had Drax, he has 2 attack right here.
Yeah,
he could just knock me out, but I still re-roll him.
Exactly. So. Whenever you get knocked out, you're still going to come back as a roll on the next turn. Now there's the area where everything you roll goes to, which is your energy and your action dice like these, and your characters will go there first. Whenever you actually pay to field one of your characters, they'll move up to the field zone. And then there's an attack zone even further than that where you can say, I'm going to attack at the end of my turn, and then the other person can say, well, I'm going to block with these people. Right. And then everything as you spend energy and actions, and if you attack with somebody and they're not even...
But you can only attack on your turn.
Yeah, you can only attack at the end of your turn. And then if you attack and nobody blocks you and you do your full damage to your opponent, then that will go to your used pile. So there's all this shifting around of different things. However, here's the one thing that's important to know. What we're trying to do is knock each other down to 0 health. We start off with 20. Now, personally, I use a 20-sided die to track my health because they don't give you away.
I just use dice 5, 10, 15, 20.
Yeah, Nathan has these nice big... these might even be erasers, but I don't know. Either way, he has these nice dice that you can use to track his health, and now they're all over the place. So the point is, you find a way to track your health, but as you're attacking and defending, you're just trying to get the opponent's health down. Right. Let's just say I've bought a few dice, and I've got Odin, quite a powerful fellow. If I get Odin...
He's good at defense mainly.
Let's say I got lucky enough to get 2 of these guys. He's very expensive. It costs 6 energy, and you have to have at least a shield to get him. He's very, very expensive and very powerful. If I had him up here, and Nathan has this little wimpy sidekick, I can say, I'm going to attack with both of these Odin dice. Nathan would say, I either do not want to block or I do. If he does block, he'll put him up, and he'll decide which one he wants to block. Now, each character die over here, you'll notice, let me make this very clear.
Of course, Thanos is just unbelievably powerful.
Okay, each character has one side with just 1 energy, 2 sides with 2 of their energy, and then 3 character symbols, which shows you, it basically represents them in combat, and it has their unit cost to actually field them, their attack power, and their defense. But here's the thing, you'll notice it gets better as you go up. This is considered level 1, then level 2, then level 3. So which one you roll will decide how powerful your character actually is. Let's just say I had my wimpiest and my strongest. I think that's the wimpiest, yeah. So, and you'll also notice that sometimes they have a little asterisk symbol here, and that can affect abilities on their cards.
It's like with Bucky. If
yeah, let's pull that up here. I'll show them. Yeah, Bucky, here's a perfect example of how this works. Bucky has 2 possibilities. One is Bucky gets +2 attack if he gets a single asterisk, which is on this particular side.
That's pretty powerful.
And then if he rolls double, Bucky can't be blocked by sidekick dice. And that would be on his most powerful one. So these are different ways you can have special effects based on your card.
I would probably rather have the 2 attacks.
Yeah, +2 attack is nice. However, here's the one problem. Whenever you get blocked, let's say Nathan blocks with that sidekick, he would choose to block my more powerful Odin. And the reason why, unless you have the ability Overcrush, which would let you actually go past the defenses of the person blocking.
Unless if you have enough people to defend.
Yeah, in this case, I would knock him out because he only has 1 defense. I've got 5 attack. He gets knocked out and he goes back to the prep area, so he will be re-rolled on Nathan's next turn. But I do no damage. Even though I had 5 attack without Overcrush, if I had Overcrush, I would do 4 damage because 1 would go to his sidekick and the other 4 would go to take out his health. But since I don't have Overcrush, I do no damage. He just gets knocked out and that's it. This guy would attack and do his 3 damage to Nathan,
and then take this down.
And then I would put him over here in the used area. So blocking is a very important part of this game because you can use really wimpy people to block really powerful people. If they don't have Overcrush, you protect yourself from all of that damage.
And I'd be at 2 health. Well, not literally.
And then you just keep going back and forth, taking turns, rolling dice, and as you go, you'll end up getting to the point where you've bought so many extra cool dice that you'll be pulling out lots of good stuff out of your bag. Now, Nathan, tell us about action dice. How do the action dice work?
Oh, let me see. Okay. So, action dice. See, whenever you have an action dice, they let you have abilities. Let's move this over. And see, one target.
Yeah, you talk about it and I'll show them.
Now, I don't remember what that one does. It makes it to where you can give 1 of your people Overcrush, and you want to use it for, like, Thanos, because he's unbelievably powerful. So why wouldn't you use it for Thanos? And if you have an asterisk, you get 1 attack.
That's right. Now,
Two.
so it's a very cheap thing that can let you give a character Overcrush so they can actually fight past the defenses of their opponent. And you'll notice this: every action die has the same sides. There's 3 sides of 2 generic energy. You can use it for anything. The only time you ever need specific energy is when you buy a die. You can field anyone for any kind of energy. So it's nice to have 2 energy, so it makes it easier to purchase more dice or field them.
Except if you're trying to buy them.
Yeah, although you can use it for it, you just have to have at least one of their type.
Right. Okay.
And then there's these 3 symbols right here. The action symbols, this is what makes it to where you can actually use the ability here. So if you roll one of these, you can say, I'm going to spin this action, and I'm going to get Overcrush. And if you have an asterisk, or in this case the double asterisk, either one, which there's, you see those right here, then you get this extra bonus. So action dice can make it to where you can do some really cool things that boost your team. So basically, that is the game. You're buying action dice, you're buying your character dice, you're trying to get lots of energy to buy your good stuff. Here's the one other thing I want to bring up.
I really like this one a lot too, though, because it does draw two dice and put them into your prep area.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's very powerful because you spend that to get 2 free dice plus the 4 that you're going to draw at the beginning of your next turn anyway. So that is a great way to really build up a lot of dice and energy or whatever. Now, here's the last thing I want to say before we give our opinion.
399, I mean defense and attack.
This is actually the perfect example. Thanos, his most powerful version, has 9 attack, 9 defense. That's very tough to beat. Now, let's just say I have 2 Odins. Now, if I was able to get my 2 best, I've got 8 defense, 5 attack. You can, whenever you block,
well, that's 10 attacks, so I would get killed.
Yeah, if someone's attacking and you're blocking, you would assign who blocks who, but you can actually assign multiple people to block the same person. So Thanos attacking with 9, I can block, let's say he had Overcrush because he gave him the ability to Overcrush with his Hulk out action card. I go, you know what, I really can't afford to take any damage because right now 9 and 8, he would knock me out and do 1 damage to me. I'm going to block with 2 people. I can make it to where I have a total defense of 16. He can decide how to split it. In this case, it doesn't matter because they're both the same. He would knock him out. He would hang in there, and then I would attack and still not kill him, knock him out because he has 9 defense, but I would protect myself. So you can use multiple people to block 1 die, and that's really important. The other thing, there's one thing I want to bring up, which is whenever someone is attacking you, and let's just say that there's special abilities, and there's so many special abilities, I can't even go over them all. Each character has, I'll show you an example. We have, where did the cards go? Oh yeah, we have 3 Thanos cards actually that we've collected, and depending on which cards you have, in this case, this is the one Nathan was using. Thanos cost 2 fewer to buy while you were at less than 11 life. Well, that's great. He costs 7, which is a lot, but he'll go down to 5 once you're actually getting hurt a lot. But you could have this Thanos, which makes it to where Thanos cannot be blocked. He's more expensive, but you can't block him. So if he's got that powerful 9, he's just going in busting you down. If you start off with 20 health, so he will do almost half of your health, and you can't stop it since you can't block him. Or you can there's this Thanos, which is this red line means that it's ultra rare, and I can see why. He has Overcrush, which means that he's going to be able to bust through your defenses. And every time one of your villains, which is based on this affiliation symbol, different people have different affiliations, and that can affect the game in different ways. Anytime any of your villains deals combat damage to an opponent, and that means not their character dice, but the actual character, then you put an infinity counter on Thanos. The infinity counter isn't a real thing. You just find some way to track that. Thanos, at least not as far as I know, I don't have anything like that. Thanos dice cost 2 less to purchase for each infinity counter on Thanos. So he's going to get cheaper as your other villains do damage to your opponent. So he can get to the point where he's super duper cheap. So the point is, as you collect more stuff, you'll be able to get a lot of different variety of versions of the same character. They use the same dice, but the character ability is different. So that's how you play. Now we're going to go ahead and tell you what we think. Okay, so there you go. You can see this is a game that tons of custom dice. I mean, this game is about custom dice. Each die looks different for each character. Let's talk about component quality, Nathan. What do you think? Do you think the dice and the cards are good quality?
I think they're good quality.
I agree for the most part because the dice, they're lightweight and they don't have nice rounded corners, but they are engraved very nicely.
I think the dice are perfect. I don't see why I need round.
Well, rounding just kind of helps them roll a little better and even feel a little better. But it's okay because a lot of dice are like this, so it's not a big deal. It's not knocking the dice for that. The one thing I will say that on some of the dice, the paint job is a little off, and I think we might have an example of that right over here.
Right.
Which one was it?
It was probably this one.
One of our action dice.
Is that one?
There it is. The 2, see, it should look like this. Hopefully you can see it pretty well. That's what it should look like. But this side looks like this. It's missing some of the paint. It just doesn't look quite right. But whenever you have a cajillion dice like this, you're going to have probably some mistakes and errors. Overall,
and you have different colors.
I think the quality is great. The cards, they're not a linen finish, but they're still strong and sturdy, so I don't have any complaints. And you're not really going to be handling these cards much. You just pick them, you lay them there, and they're going to stay there. So the cards are going to last a long time. Now, whenever you get them in the booster packs, you will find that a lot of the time they'll be very warped. They're not going to be very flat because they're all bent up in the little bag. Also, not a big deal because you're not dealing them out. You're not shuffling them. So if they're warped, it's not the end of the world. But at least not to me. Okay, now that being said, let's talk about replay value, Nathan. Do you think that this is the kind of game that you can replay multiple times and it still be fun and engaging?
I do.
Why do you think that?
It's just, all that attacking and all the battles and all the buying stuff, it's just awesome.
There are a lot of things going on. And the fact, not only is it, there's replay value just because it's a dice game. That all by itself kind of gets you there because you have that level of uncertainty and surprise that happens. But then, whenever you have enough characters where you can actually manage your team differently, it combine different characters, and some characters work well together. Some are even meant to work together specifically. That's exciting because balancing your team, it's almost like it's similar to a deck builder, except it's more like a character team builder. You're just building your team and getting to see how does this combination work, and then
like a card decker, card builder.
Yeah, pretty much. And since you can choose your characters and your action cards, you have a ton of variety here.
Oh yeah.
So you really, I don't really have anything bad to say about that. Replay value is huge here because the combinations, and there's tons of other Dice Master sets. You can get DC, Warhammer, and other stuff, and some I think are going out of print, but
I'm sure Warhammer has Thor.
Oh no, Warhammer is actually not. You would think since Thor has a hammer, but Warhammer is not Marvel or superheroes. That's different.
Oh.
But still, the point is there's lots of options. Now, what about strategy, Nathan? This is a dice game. There's a lot of luck involved because you're rolling. But do you think that how much strategy do you think there is? Do you have a lot of choices to make that make a difference?
Kind of.
Kind of?
Kind of.
In what way? What do you think? What choices do you feel like you have in this game?
Just about mainly attacking, choosing who you're attacking. Should I attack him or him? If they're both...
You mean defending? Because whenever you attack, I get to decide who I block with.
And if you're...
You mean if you're defending? You have to decide who do I want to block and what's the most effective.
I guess you're right. That's when it comes in.
And that is a big one because sometimes it really makes a difference who does the defending, how you allocate. Do you want to defend with people who can act strong enough to knock out the person? Sometimes that's a good idea, sometimes it's not, because some people have fielding effects like Loki. Whenever you field Loki, he actually can make you re-roll one of your characters, and that could be really bad. So you may not want to knock him out. You may just want to block him so he doesn't do any damage, but not knock him out so he doesn't have the chance to come back and mess you up.
It's pretty powerful now that you could re-roll the character.
Yeah, that's hugely powerful. So you have to think about a lot of things. See what all the abilities do, what's worth doing, and you have to decide when to re-roll, because sometimes you roll and you're like, that's pretty good, but I could do better. Do you take the chance, push your luck to try to get something better? Maybe, maybe not. Yeah. And all those things are really nice. And there's one other thing I want to say before we go to our actual opinion. Some of the dice, I will have to say, are a little harder to read than others, and Pepper Potts is a great example. The color combination on Pepper Potts is too similar, in my opinion. Makes it a little hard to read her die. And Loki is kind of that way, too. I mean, the colors are not... There's not enough contrast, I don't think.
Honestly...
You can still tell, but you compare that to, say...
I don't just like the colors, like the yellow or the green, but I still
That's easy. That one is perfect. Or even Iron Man. Iron Man, really easy to tell. Yeah. But the thing is, whenever you have this many dice and they're trying to get different combinations of colors, you're going to have some that don't look as good as others. So that's okay. So, Nathan, what would you rate Dice Masters?
Probably a It's in my top 1, just top 10.
Top 10.
Well, I just rated a 10 out of 10, but it's in my top 1.
In other words, it's up there with the Minecraft card game and something else that you rated a 10.
Lucidity.
Oh, well, we can't say that yet. We haven't got to that review yet. That's spoiler there. But that being said, yeah, he gives it a 10. You really like it.
I do.
And me, I think I would have to give it a 9, and not quite a 10, but I do give it a 9 because it's just, you feel like there's so much you can do. What makes this so high for you? Is it all the characters? Is it the dice rolling? What is it that puts it there for you?
Mainly just, I mean, it is nice. I like a lot of dice games.
Yeah, Nathan likes dice a lot.
And it even says Dice Masters.
Ravager.
Right, yeah, Ravager, I like that. And Dice Masters, I mean, it even says dice, sort of like, oh yeah, this is a dice game.
Yeah, I mean that's I'm always on the fence when it comes to dice. Dice are good in some ways and they're bad in other ways for me. But this game uses dice in a way that is just really exciting. The fact that you're building this bag of cool dice, and whenever you reach in there and you pull out some cool characters that you bought, and you go wow. But then you're not sure that they're going to become characters. It might just be energy, and you roll them and you try to see what comes up, and you might get the weakest, the level 1 version, and you're going, I really want that level 3. You might re-roll to try to get it, and then it becomes energy. There's just a lot of exciting stuff going on here. And putting together the team is a lot of the fun. Trying to make a team that's really cool. Trying new combinations. Awesome game. Awesome, awesome game. So we both really like it. 10 for Nathan, 9 for me.
9? I didn't even hear you say that.
Yeah, I said 9, which is great. I mean, it's really high. It's just not up there with the big dogs like Cosmic Encounter. Oh. But this is a really good game. We've played it many, many times, and we've had a blast every time. So, that being said, very pleased with this game. Hope you enjoyed the review. Let us know. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.